What's up everyone? Alex here. May is upon us, which means we're almost halfway through 2022. It's been such a wild ride this year, with so many amazing games, that we needed April to give us a break. Alas, May is the start of yet another season of fun and exciting new adventures. And here are some highlighted games that we can expect to play this month. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like, subscribing to the channel, and tell me what you think are the games you'll be picking up this month in the comments below. We saw Trek to Yomi debut during Sony's State of Play a few months ago, and the combat looked really smooth and silky. Trek to Yomi has you living out your samurai dreams in a style that'll remind you of Akira Kurosawa's films. I've read that the game's length is about 5 hours long, but I'm expecting some of you here to come up with some sick combos. Sometimes the shortest games have some incredible value after all. Trek to Yomi comes out on May 5th on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, and PC. Before I continue, I want to give a shout out to my patrons for voting for the games that they're interested in. They're represented by these little bubbles here, right above the name of the game. If you want to show off your support for upcoming games, head on over to patreon.com/BACKLOGBATTLE and join the Fellow Travelers tier. Several of your favorite YouTubers have played through an early version of Eiyuden Chronicle Rising, but for the rest of us, we'll be able to check it out on May 10th on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, and PC. For those who don't know, Eiyuden Chronicle Rising is set before the events of Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes from the folks who made Suikoden. What makes Rising unique is that it blends action gameplay with town building. I've heard so much about how the gameplay loop is one of the most addicting aspects of the game, and quite honestly, this reminds me of my recent time with ActRaiser Renaissance, but with a more modern take. I'm hoping that the final product lives up to our expectations. I've never played Salt and Sanctuary before because, I wasn't schooled in the way of the Soulsborne back then. So when I saw Salt and Sacrifice arrive in May, it naturally harkened back to the good old days of playing Castlevania on the NES. In case you haven't played, Salt and Sacrifice is a Metroidvania game known for gameplay design that is reminiscent of From Software's games, which makes it a pretty good follow-up to Elden Ring. If you manage to pry yourself away from it, that is. The biggest difference this time around is that PvP multiplayer will be a part of this new adventure. I personally don't care much about that aspect of these sorts of games, but with the right approach, I think it can be an additive experience rather than subtractive. Salt and Sacrifice releases on May 10th on PS4, PS5, and PC. For folks who love games like Rune Factory and Stardew Valley, Little Witch in the Woods might be right up in your neck of the woods. While not much is known about how it plays and how things work together, I have to say that I quickly fell in love with the game's art style and aesthetic. The developer is a two-man team based in Busan, South Korea, so knowing that just impresses me even more. Little Witch in the Woods comes out on May 16th on PC. And here are the rest of the games coming out in May. Evil Dead, the game, is an asymmetrical survival horror multiplayer game, releasing on Friday the 13th on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, and PC. Vampire the Masquerade Swan Song is a narrative-driven single-player RPG set in White Wolf's World of Darkness, releasing on May 19th on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, and PC. Soldiers is a Metroidvania with elements of action-adventure and RPGs, also releasing on May 19th for PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, and PC. Cotton Fantasy is a classic side-scrolling shooter, releasing on May 20th for PS4 and Switch. Token Ranbu Warriors is a Dynasty Warriors-style action game based on the popular, free-to-play, browser-based collectible card game, releasing on May 24th on the Switch. Pac-Man Museum Plus, a fresh new collection that spices up the classics, releases on May 27th on PC, Switch, PS4, and Xbox One. And that, my friends, are just some of the games you can expect to play in May. I personally can't wait to check out Eiyuden Chronicles Rising. And I actually didn't know that Vampire the Masquerade Swansong was a single-player RPG. I was confusing it for the Battle Royale game. So now, I want to hear what you think. What games in May are you looking to check out? What games in May would you like to know about? Post your thoughts in the comments below and let's talk about it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.